What's up guys, this is Max and I'm so excited to talk about this brand new rank 3 of mine, Warlock. So one of the first things I want to cover is his immunities. I love immunities. For me, that's one of my personal things, so that's why I want to cover these. So Warlock's actually immune to bleed, immune to poison, and immune to cold snap and frostbite. One really cool feature here to cover about Warlock is that at the start of every single fight, he actually starts the fight with a armor up buff. So this armor up buff increases his armor rating, but if it ever gets removed for whatever reason, it refreshes itself in 10 seconds and it actually has an ability. While this buff is active, opponents' special attacks cannot be critical.
Piss off, Ghost! He's freaking gone.
Now the contact with Warlock is where things got a little bit confusing for me. So the opponents gain a charge, a virus if you will. The virus is not affected by ability accuracy, but for each contact on the opponent it gains 20 total charges. Once the charges are there, they are then removed and then replaced with an infection passive that lasts for 20 seconds. Now this virus has something passive. The opponent, its heal block, of course if the virus is active. If the salve mastery is active, the mastery is removed. Now you're wondering, what is salve mastery? I haven't seen that in a while. So for each mastery point in the salve mastery, a total of 3 points are being able to use here. Is you get 1 point for first mastery point, 2.0 and 4.0. As you're seeing it here, it says your champion is passively recovers 4.0 health twice per second for 60 seconds, no effects on robots. Now if this was on, he turns it off. Along with that, the opponent has negative 30 offensive ability accuracy. Whenever the opponent would gain health while infected, Warlock power drains them for 5% of their current power over 0.50 seconds. Now Warlock gets even better. He gets some items when blocking. If the block was well timed, the opponent gains 3 virus charges. If the hit was non-contact basic attack, the opponent instantly drains 10% of the current power. Wow. Now it doesn't stop there. When he does a heavy and you get a heavy out, you inflict bleed of over 2800 damage over 5 seconds. Now let's get into the special attacks. The first special attack 1, the last hit shocks the opponent, dealing over 4,400 energy damage over 10 seconds. If they are infected though, this also triggers when the attack is activated, but lasts only half as long. The first hit removes all infection to passively drain 25% of the opponent's max power over 5.5 seconds for each infection removed. Now let's get into the special attack 2, one of my favorites because it deals a lot of damage. So the last hit places 2 armor break debuffs on the opponent, each reducing the armor rating by 2150, so over 2100 for 10 seconds. If they're infected, the debuffs also trigger when the attack is activated, but last half as long. The last hit refreshes 1 infection.
Wait a minute!
Now special attack 3 is very interesting. Actually, he's one of my favorite as well when it comes to his special attacks. Reason is because you get a little bit of regen and you get some power burn with it. So if you're in a tough situation, you can get out of it with some regen with the special attack 3. So it inflicts passive power burn on the opponent, draining 100% of their current power over 5.5 seconds and dealing damage proportionate to the amount lost. Along with that, you're going to be getting some regen, 1602 health for each infection on the opponent. So over 1600 health for each infection. So if you can time it right, you can definitely get quite a good chunk of regen back.
Target neutralized.
Okay guys, so now we're going to get into Warlock synergies. So here's his dream team for Warlock, every single synergy available to him. He's got 4 major synergies. Let's look at them now.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more!
I think our friend here wants us to make sure we hit the like button. Thank you so much. The first synergy we see here is called Self Friends. When adding Magic or Sunspot to the team, Warlock himself's special attacks generate negative 70% less power in the opponent. Now Magic herself does get an increase of 50% while in Limbo, and Sunspot Incinerates have 25% increased duration, which is well to note as well, since you're going to be adding one of these 2 champions to your team. The second synergy we're going to be looking at, it's called the Robot Uprising, and with it, yes, all the champions here are going to be robots, so both Ultrons or Visions. Warlock himself is part of this, so whenever any teammate would receive a debuff they're immune to, they gain a Fury buff, increasing their attack rating by 60% over 6 seconds. Does not stack when duplicate synergies. Now, very cool, especially for those that out there that love suicides, myself included. I run this, so instantly if you were to add one of these champions and Warlock, as soon as you start the fight, you start with a Fury buff that lasts for 60 seconds, giving you 60% additional attack. The third synergy is going to be with Cable, so it's called Going Viral. Warlock himself, whenever the opponent would gain one or more virus charges, 50% chance for them to gain an additional charge. Now, this also provides a synergy with Cable. The ability accuracy of Cable's regeneration effect is increased by 10%. So on this synergy, I do want to take a moment and talk about it, because when I first read it, I didn't think it was going to be that important, but I didn't realize not having Cable on him, I was not placing as many infections on the opponent. So the addition of virus through the parries were very helpful to get more infections, which gives you more regen on the special 3. It just provides better control. So if the goal is to have more infections on them, definitely having Cable on the team is going to help. Now, I wasn't as aggressive as I probably could have, meaning doing more parries, taking more block hits, or hitting the opponent more, but I was able to notice just with very little testing, I was able to get 4 infections as opposed to like the casual 1 and 2 before they ran off or turned off on the opponent. So definitely worth a synergy if you can fit them on the team. Now, the final synergy is called Mutant Agenda. So if you pair Warlock with Domino or either Magnetos, whether red or white Magneto, all mutant landed strikes during special attacks gain plus 12 attack rating. So there's nothing to really showcase that benefits Warlock himself, but here you get a benefit to the mutant class. Very useful, something to note and keep in the back of your head if you want to start using more mutant teams in part of your attack of 5 slots. And of course, this takes up quite a few slots. Maybe a different combination might be beneficial, but it's definitely something to mention that if you have favorite mutant champions you like to use, if you can fit in Warlock and it's a combination of maybe a Magneto or a Domino in there, your special attacks will have an increase of plus 12%. So very nice final synergy for the mutant class. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about is his signature ability. I didn't mention it as my 6-star rank 3 is not awakened, but my 5-star is. So his signature ability at level 200 as a 5-star is Degenerate, the opponent dealing 862 direct damage over 2 seconds. So as you can see, it might be helpful, but not necessarily a must-have, in my own opinion, when it comes to Warlock's awakened ability, if it's you needed. Now, he is one of the highest, or up there in the top 5 highest for prestige. So when it comes to your 6 stars, if you need some prestige help, I would say definitely having a lot of signature stones added to them will help them for your prestige, but I would definitely save them for a different champion. And then in the case of my account, I took Warlock to rank 3 as opposed to other champions that I have options with, because I find him very useful. A lot of the reasons I kind of covered and mentioned. I think overall though, if you're thinking of ranking up a Warlock to either the next rank, whether it is your 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, or even 6-star to rank 3, he's definitely a very useful tool. Again, to just sum it up, you can power control the champions, you have a little bit of regen, he's fully immune to all suicides in the mastery tree, so no bleed, no poison damage. You can take him down poison lanes, bleed lanes, and not have to worry about losing health. So very useful champion. I'm glad they actually came out with this champion and it was introduced. So if you have your hands on a Warlock, consider yourself very lucky. Definitely take this champion up if you can, if it's in your possibility of rank up materials. And play style. Like, of course, that's one big thing for me, is the play style. If I love to play the champion and I will end up using the champion more, I would love to have them ranked up. And one of the reasons why I took my Warlock, even though he's not awakened, to rank 3. So hopefully this helps. If you're ever looking for videos about why you should be looking at Warlock as opposed to other champions, or just curious to know more about Warlock, let me know in the comments, guys, if you found this helpful, if you think I should be doing more of these, and if you just enjoyed. Definitely don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're brand new. But guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.